Hi, everyone.
Is Luisa there?
I am here. Hi,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah, great. Excellent.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, and there.
All right. Let's maybe wait.
Should we wait just a few more minutes?
Yes. I think.
Okay. Hi, all of you.
Hi, all of you.
My students and also students I've had from other classes. Congratulations. We're really excited about this. We'll wait a couple more minutes for everyone to show up, but what a great opportunity to have your work seen and heard and experienced by so many people.
For sure.
Hmm. 48 people. Terra's connection is poor. Still. I mean,
Yeah, I know that was weird. We never had that.
It's
lightning.
a thunderstorm, I think, that knocked something out.
Yeah.
On Sunday, I was in the thunderstorm with my bicycle, which was not so funny.
Oh.
With the hail, it can really, it hurts you. It was the first time that I
You
was.
have to be actually very careful. Last year or 2 years ago, there was hail that was like baseball sized.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hiding under a cow shelter, which was good. It was a little stinky though.
Okay. I guess maybe Kimberly. Are we live? How is everything going? Are we're live now? Okay.
Yeah, I just made us live.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well,
I think
let's
we
get
can
going.
start.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah. Sorry, Betsy.
Go ahead, Louisa.
I was just saying, yeah, we can get started and people can join while we initiate this.
Yeah. So, hi, everyone. Hello, graduates. Hello, family of Capstone seniors, friends of the department. It's so fun seeing all your names pop up. I've seen many of you for the last 3 and 4 years. And there was so much strong work. I just want to say a thank you to CMCI and to our department's leadership, Terry Reeb and Risa Geist. And a thanks to the university, but especially a thanks to all of you students who really made this year what it was, and especially during such a difficult year. I am so proud of the hard work and creativity that you showed in really a year of unprecedented crises. It was such an honor to be part of the process of some of your work from the very beginnings of the seeds of an idea to your finished projects. These capstone pieces are really a bridge between these students' college careers and their futures as media makers. And I'm very proud of all of you and all of your friends and family, if that's what they are. And I'm looking forward to how all of these DCMP graduates move on going forward. And please don't be strangers. Please keep in touch. The projects, I can say, at least in my 2 sections, spanned from live action films that were psychological thrillers, documentaries about community ventures and digital authenticity and personal loss, a comedy that was a mockumentary about professional ping pong, forward-thinking music films and videos incorporating graphics, dance, and projection mapping. I worked with a number of musicians putting out EPs of alt pop and EDM and experimental music, and photographers working with portrait and street photography, even a lot of mixed media with sound and illustration. And finally, so much expanded media, everything from a role-playing game, a web adaptation of Spoon River Anthology, bringing natural environments virtually to hospital patients, interactive multimedia literature, holographic sculptures, a virtual gallery filled with personal memories. And I really am just blown away by how many of you really brought so many different disciplines and ways of working and thinking into your projects. And I hope that you all carry that forward. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to just go by class, and we will ask each of you to introduce your, or each instructor will introduce their students' work, and then each student will just take 30 seconds to a minute to say something briefly about the process of creating the work. At 5 o'clock, we will have CMCI Dean Lori Bergen and Department Chair Reese Auguste saying a few words, and then we'll continue and we'll end with a Q&A. So welcome, thank you all for being here. I hope that you've been as blown away by this work as I have been. And I think that we will start with Louisa's class.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Betty, for introducing this. And it's so wonderful to see everyone here. I'm very excited for you and for the people who will actually get to experience your projects. I would like to say a couple of things before we go into each of your projects. And I would like to say the following. So I'm grateful to be sharing space with media production alumni and peers from the Department of Critical Media Practices today. I would like to thank Kimberly Bianca, our teaching assistant, who created the showcase website, and Pat Clark, who, as chair of the undergraduate studies, made sure that we can continue to serve our advanced upper division students in a complicated year. Thank you, Kimberly and Pat. Thank you very much for your work. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, Betsy Biggs and Thorsten Trimpon for the excellent collaboration, especially all the work that went into coordinating curricula and making sure that we offer our students a consistent experience over the 4 parallel sections of the Capstone course this spring. This is a testament to the growth of this program under the guidance of Chairs Terry Wiebe, Reese Auguste, as well as the care and passion of the founding chair of undergraduate studies in CMP, Andrew Young. And Professor Young cannot make it today because of an exam, but he has asked me to relay this note, and I would like to post it in the chat so you can all read it from him. So let me do that. I also want to mention the 16 projects produced in my class were made over 1 semester, but many of them are the result of years of personal and professional experience that our students have accumulated. Some of you have pushed your creative boundaries and challenged yourselves to produce work of a different level and became proficient in a new skill to create meaningful work well beyond assignment parameters or program requirements. Today, we do not only celebrate these projects, but also the fact that you, the artists we encounter today, have become our colleagues in an wondrous, excruciating, competitive, nerve-wracking, inspiring world of media art making. Congratulations to you all. This didn't happen in 3 months. You have been hard at work for the past 4 years or so. And if you stay on this path, you will continue to have to work hard beyond the next 40 years or so. I have crossed paths with many of you and seen what you can do when you are motivated and inspired. I hope that going out into the world, you will only continue to be rewarded and consumed by your practice. And last but not least, I would like to especially recognize today CMCI's William W. White Outstanding Graduate, Julia Merton. Julia was in my class and I met her 2 years ago when she was starting to develop her practice as an animator and graphic artist. And it's been impressive to see her pull through thick and thin to grow during her time at CU. I'm also happy to see many artists whom I've worked with in previous semesters. Congratulations. So we can start now by just, let's see who would like to go first from my class, or maybe we can take it in the website order. So maybe let's start with Katie. And you can present your project for 30 seconds or so. And Kimberly, are we sharing screen in the meantime? Should I share my screen?
Yeah, you share your screen and click on the project.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so what I made was, I called it a comic walk, and it was sort of an art walk on the hill, comprised of 9 different comics I made. They're all sort of on a theme of just processing my experience with like college, and I think saying goodbye to college and acknowledging that like COVID and stuff was part of it. And that's something that I think everyone in my generation and a lot of us in the same year kind of feel very similarly about. Like I think it affected everybody very similarly. So I just wanted to express that experience, that little time capsule of people whose college got affected by COVID, and also speak a little bit to Boulder as I'm getting ready to leave it. So that is what this is.
Thank you. Julia, is Julia here? So this is her project. I don't think she's here. She made a wonderful animation collage.
Here.
She's here?
I thought I saw her just now.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Oh, no, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you. Okay.
Am I going? Sorry, I like just got out of the shower.
It's going on and off.
My Wi-Fi is probably just bad right now. Sorry. Just a second.
Okay, I think maybe Julia, we can go next. We can go to the next person. And Kara, is Kara here?
Sorry, do you mean Sarah, as in me, or someone?
Not Sarah, Kara, sorry. So this is my section, just so you know, I am presenting my section. Tate?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, would you like to present your project?
Sure. So I made a short, mostly narrative-driven game with a resource management kind of mini game in it. Originally, I was focusing on themes of kind of what cyberpunk meant in a more digitally driven present. So how we would be thinking about the future now versus when that genre kind of came to being a thing. And then in all of my limitations, this kind of narrowed itself down to just being kind of a worker exploitation story, comparing the future to aspects of the past based kind of on certain sea shanties that were very popular for part of the last year. And in doing the project, I think the thing that stood out the most to me was how big the gap can be between how much you think you know how to use a tool versus how much you actually know how to use a tool. But that's not to say anything down about the professors whose classes I thought I had learned to use the tool in originally. I think they're here. You know, different applications, I guess.
Oh, thank you, Tate. This looks great, and I know you put a lot of work into this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Julia, let us know when you can talk. But in the meantime, you're ready? Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi kicked me out.
Okay.
So my project is basically just about packing a survival kit for my younger self going into the future. And there's sort of like a surprise, meaningful ending. But each piece of the suitcase has a symbolic animation behind it that talks about the meaning. So, yep, it's a coming of age film.
Okay, thank you. And we can see more images here. But yeah, please, I encourage all of you to look at these projects. They're absolutely amazing. So, Zach?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. My project is called Worm Crew. It's like a cartoon animation. It's about guys driving around the city and they do graffiti and they eat cheeseburgers and Yeah, it's a cartoon, and I made it in this program called Toon Boom, which I taught myself this semester. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You should watch it.
Definitely should watch it. It's short and very good, so watch it. Thank you, Zach. Al?
Yep, I'm here. So my project is a animatic slash storyboard of a song called Running Red Lights. It's essentially basically my way of creating my own music video without doing the full animation, because I'd like to do storyboarding and comics in the future. It's definitely the most ambitious thing I've ever made. And I had a lot of fun making it, even though I had some really bad technical difficulties as I did. But still, I'm really proud of it. I think it's worth a watch. And yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stay for the Q&A, but I hope you enjoy it either way.
Thank you, Al. Yeah, also Al started learning this software from scratch and did everything this semester. So congratulations for putting the effort and for aiming high with this. So well done. It looks great. Okay, Easy.
Hello. Yeah, so my project is called I'm a Poet. It's a short film / a teaser. It was originally going to be an 8-minute full movie, but I decided to make it a teaser so I could, portray and edit it how I want to, given the short time frame we were working with. So the main character has schizophrenia, and it's just his journey trying to come to an understanding with himself and his friends. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. I also want to mention that all our works on the website are accessible. So the students worked hard to create captions, and I want again to applaud that. And this is absolutely great. And you did a wonderful artist talk, Izzy. Also, there are many artist talks at the end of these pages, so feel free to explore those as well. Okay, DJ.
Hi, you guys. I'm DJ. For the past year, I've been working on an honors thesis animatic called Trash Island. And for the capstone in particular, I worked on the sound design. So I worked with actors, Foley, and music. And so this is probably one of my biggest projects I did in my undergrad. And overall, I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, watch Trash Island, important topic. Let's see, Bradley, sorry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bradley. So I made a short documentary about some ghost stories of Boulder, specifically the Boulderado Hotel. There were 3 suicides on the 3rd floor, and also the infamous Mackey Auditorium murder of Laura Jacquet in 1966. It was really cool. I interviewed Glenn Locke. He's the owner of Banjo Billy's Bus Tours. You may have seen the bus driving around the hill. And also I got to interview him right outside of the room in the West Tower of Mackey Auditorium where the murder occurred, which was really cool as well. So go check it out.
Oh, thank you for presenting it. Definitely some creepy stories that you obtained there. Okay, Gabriel?
Hello, my project was a series of videos documenting musical performance. I write music and record it. And during COVID, it hasn't really been possible to play live, so I decided to make some live videos that kind of combined videography and sound recording.
Yeah, these definitely need to be listened to, especially because Gabriel is a talented musician. So I commend you check out his music, and there's also we linked the websites of each of these artists, so also check out their work. So yeah, thank you. Okay, let's see. Isabel.
Yes, I'm here.
And I skipped Nick, but I will go back to him. Would you like to present your project?
Hi, everyone. I'm Isabel. I wanted to recreate some iconic inspirational vinyl album covers with kind of a modern contemporary twist on them. My idea was kind of the music never changes, it stays the same, but the era in which we're listening to the music and the generation who is listening to the music constantly is changing. So I kind of just wanted to create that within my new album covers.
And Isabella also has a website of the project. Some of these projects have separate websites. So again, please use all the features on their pages to explore the projects more. Thank you, Isabel. Nicola?
Yeah. So what I did for my capstone project, I made a fictional narrative short film called Agony. And kind of the idea behind the project was based around a real weekend and a real experience I had with my cousin. And I really pushed and tried to make this as professional as I could. I ran into a lot of challenges because it was just me on production, but I learned a lot and I had a great time making it. And yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you definitely learned a lot. Nick did everything on this movie. All the positions in a film crew, he did it all for the first time, which is amazing. Congratulations for that. Ashley?
Hi, Louisa. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. My project, I made a very short film. It was really, I had a good time making it, really bonded with my actors, and I learned a lot. I actually brought my actor to come celebrate all the fantastic work we're celebrating today.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you like to say what your project is about?
Sure. I went for a more abstract idea that I'm used to. It's kind of about like this girl who discovers life's a little different than she thought, and you're gonna have to watch the rest if you want any more information. No free previews.
No spoilers here.
No spoilers here.
I just want to say, yeah, the film is very well written and it's shot beautifully by Ashley. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And directed, and looks very good. Okay, Nikki?
Hi, Louisa. So my project, I explored 7 different people who are living and are working in Boulder. And I explored their COVID stories. So I basically went and interviewed 7 different people and took their portraits and just talked to them about how COVID has affected their businesses or just their lives as students and different things like that. And then I made their portraits into a collage with newspaper cutouts and headlines that had to do with their interview.
Mm-hmm. And you also have an interviews website.
Yeah.
Next to it, I can go here and you can read these interviews that Nikki conducted with these people. Thank you. They look very cool. I think they ended up looking very, very good. And I know you put a lot of work into this. Again, learning things from scratch, which is amazing. Okay, let's see. Cooper?
Yeah. So my project was fully surrounded around making hand-drawn animation for a documentary series that I'll be working on in the fall about the football team. So I wasn't actually able to finish the animation. I made this video to kind of explain the whole process of it and, you know, what it was for and everything. If anybody wants to check that out afterwards, but there were a whole lot of moving parts and a bunch of different details that I really wanted to get right. So it was a pretty rewarding and very, very tedious process. And I'm still working on it every day, and it's looking really good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that you are also a wonderful cinematographer, and you kind of show your skills in this video. At least, I mean, you didn't get to finish your animation, but I think you did a wonderful video based on this idea of not finishing the animation. So, yeah, wonderful work that you've done. And sometimes you need to have a plan B, and I think Cooper did it so well at the end with this film. So I definitely encourage all of you to watch it, especially those of you in the classroom who know his story. So yeah, check it out. It's a new video here. Okay, let's see, Sabrina.
Hi, yeah.
Hi.
So basically what I did was a photography series that was made up of 14 photos. It was called In the Dark. It was basically just trying to show the different perspectives of the different genders being put into the same kind of situation of sexual harassment or assault, just so that people can kind of compare and contrast the different ways in which people view predatory behavior.
Yes, and you also built a special website for the project. Yep. So I'm just scrolling through it. And there are some very useful links at the end of the website if you want to, or if you need to. Hopefully you don't want to or check them out, but they're there. Thank you, Sabrina. Okay, I think this is my section. I hope I hope I didn't forget anyone. So let me know if you are here and I've missed something. Let me see. I think that's it. If Thorsten would like to go next.
Yeah, I go next. Hi, everyone. I wanted to start off to thank Kimberly first for putting this all together. It's amazing to handle all this project with dozens of different files and whatever errors and problems that I'm sure everybody had. So that's fantastic. And I'd like to thank very much Luisa also. Without you, I would not have been able to teach this class, I believe. So really, I'm honest. And Betsy, of course, also for the collaboration on this. In general, I was astonished. It was a difficult semester for everyone. And you students handled it like amazingly with high expectations, knowing that you are going to be out there very soon. You accomplished a lot, and there was, which I appreciate the most, there was a lot of skin on the table, as I call it. So there are a couple of really astonishingly personal projects that have been made that are exceptionally moving that were made in this section. So I will start going through them and share my screen. Here you go. And yeah, I just start up here with Paula. Do you want to start?
Yes. So I made a short documentary. It's a self-portrait on my cultural identity, and it basically just explores how I moved to the US when I was 6 from Puerto Rico and how that has affected me. It's really hard to talk about, but and then how I plan to combat it in the future. So like the whole thing is about like I'm graduating and I don't know what to do, like if I should go back to Puerto Rico or move to Spain. And so it's just like a personal doc.
Yeah, and I have to say that what you accomplished in this semester is just incredible to me, because you really you put yourself in there in a way that will stand for many, many others who are, you know, in a similar situation than you are. Thank you so much for that again.
Thank you.
So Adler is next.
All right, so I made a roughly 13-minute short film, narrative short film. Essentially, kind of like the themes behind it were, isolation during COVID and all of that kind of stuff. Um, I'm not really going to talk about the story very much because if you want to figure that out, then you can go watch it. But it was a very interesting film to make. Definitely the hardest thing I've had to do in my time here at CU, especially because I chose to shoot in the woods in the middle of a snowstorm. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, it was a very fun project to work on.
Yeah, and you did amazing. It was really, it developed so much throughout the semester, and you were able. What astonished me the most is that you were able to pull it off with a team, and you convinced people to get out there in the middle of the snowstorm, and this is the result. So everybody should check this out. It's really beautiful to watch, and the cinematography and everything is astonishing. Next, let me see. Taylor is next. Are you here, Taylor? She was here. Here. There you
She's
go.
here. Taylor, you're muted.
Sorry, my computer was just freaking out for a second. But yeah, so this was actually my capstone was part of my thesis project, which I've been working on for the last 8 months or so. It started with me developing this theory called the ICA loop, which stands for information overload, cyberchondria, and the attention economy. And it's all about really how these systems feed into each other during the time of COVID and how we really get stuck in these systems. And so what I did was I took each one of these components and turned it into a physical installation that you walked through. And it was interactive with, live actors and QR codes that you scanned as you went through. And Mr. Trim Pop, he went through it, he experienced it, which was cool. And then the virtual capstone piece of it was I don't even think it's in the showcase, but it's a virtual tour that you press through. So everyone can kind of see what it was like if they go on the website.
Yeah, here's the artist website that we connect to. Here you go.
It should be icaloop.com. I don't know if that's the one that's on there or not.
No,
but
it's not. icaloop.com. Okay, yeah, check this out. It was just amazing how you did that, and all the work that went in there. She literally used the entire house she shares with her roommates to have an exhibition. And they planned it for weeks, and her bedroom was like one of the exhibition spaces. I've seen it. It was incredible, but you can still get like a good idea also based on the documentation that you created, which is really cool also. Yeah. All right. That was so. Sydney is next.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I actually don't think that I sent Kimberly my link for my website, so I just sent it in the chat really quick as well. But I did a mixed media 3-part piece, which included a poem, a short story, and then a gallery of collage images that I wrote or I created to go along with the short story. Pretty much the short story and the poem is just kind of about my own trauma that I've experienced, which is kind of deep, so trigger warning in case you ever actually go through my pieces. But it was definitely a fun time not necessarily fun, but help revelating as I'm finishing college and to be able to kind of rethink, relive, and go through it, definitely a good time. So thank you, Thorsten.
Thank you, Sydney. she worked so hard in the, this is one of the projects where it gets like so close that you can get, that things become difficult in a way that you might not expect of projects. So check this out. It's really beautiful. All right. God, these are a lot of projects. Natalie, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great.
Yeah, so A Sleepless Night is a short narrative and surrealist film that I made, and it follows my story dealing with sleep paralysis in the past and also explores the bizarre realm of the dream state. And in this, I really wanted to focus on interesting ways to represent a dream through film and on ways I could visually show this physical reaction of having sleep paralysis.
Yeah, and you did great. You did great. I did not know anything about sleep paralysis before this class, and you were able to pull it off in a way that you made not only clear what this all means, but you created something very cinematic that is universal in itself. So I find it really an amazing project also. Thank you so much. Okay, Matthew is not here, I think, right? Matthew? No. Megan, I saw you. You're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My project was a little bit different than some of the other ones, but it's sort of like an interactive user experience, kind of focused around like education and bringing a sense of wonder into like ordinary things. So I just made a bunch of seed packets that you could scan into a computer that had touchscreen enabled so that you could look at models of plants and get a better understanding of what they look like and learn a bit about like their better environments for them to thrive in. It definitely evolved a lot as a project for me. I took on a lot and I learned a lot along the way, but I was pretty happy with the end result and I would like to expand on it as well. So.
Yeah, I think it's an incredible project because I'd never seen anything like that before. It's really something very new and beautiful, and you pulled it off even with all the. It was again like a plan B that came to fruition at the end, and I think your plan B was actually better than the plan A in a way, or it worked out. So I'm very, very proud of this project also. And I was all proud that I was able to help you with it. I'm not proud. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure, great. Maggie is next.
Hi. So my project basically was using my film from Boulder, my mom's film from Boulder in the 90s, and my younger brother, who's a freshman right now, is film from Boulder. And I basically was just exploring why we all go to Boulder and also what family means, what we mean to each other, what life is going to look like after Boulder. It was a very interesting project to do because I was interviewing my family and filmed them as well. So I learned a lot about what Boulder used to be like, what Boulder is like for my brother. And it was very emotional. I think it brought us very close together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent project because it has so many layers. It has like on a surface, it is about why, did all the members of the family went to see a Boulder, but it's all about relationships and how they interact, and it's really beautiful. Thank you so much for it. Evelyn, are you here?
Yes.
Great. Evelyn is next.
Yeah, so I made a short ethnographic film named Somos el Tule, and it's based in a small town in Mexico, in Chihuahua. And I went there for about a week-ish in February, and that's when I did all of my filming. And just a little background, my family has resided there for a couple of generations, and we return about once a year, so sometimes twice. But the way I wanted to structure it was sort of like a family archive that represents this town that essentially feels that's like off the grid. You go and Google this place, you can't really find a lot of pictures. There's not many, like, there's not a lot of information out there, but the short film was meant to acknowledge what keeps the town alive. So storytelling, daily practices, stuff like that. And the project is definitely something I would love to continue to edit and expand on, because I will continue to go there and learn so much more.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful, very ambitious project, and you should definitely check it out because it shows you like realities that I have not seen before, and there are so many little anecdotes hidden in this amazing characters, and I find it very courageous that you took this on as your capstone. Congratulations for that, and I hope you will continue. Lily is not here, but Gray is here. Very different project. Gray.
Yes, hello. So I made a narrative video game. It's about this young man who is about to take a journey out into the world, and he has this intense anxiety about that experience. So it takes a sort of dive into his world of anxiety and tries to investigate what's going on in there. It's kind of a hybrid between a game and a philosophical dialogue. So I use Stoic philosophy to sort of offer a potential solution or a potential way of dealing with that anxiety. And I kind of give it to the character using fables as my narrative structure. It's short and sweet. You can it's available to download and play as well. So I hope you enjoy.
You can get it here on the game website and download it. And I highly recommend to do that. Everybody in the class was like, wow, did you really do that in one semester? So it's, yeah, quite amazing. Thank you, Gray. Holly is next. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi. So my project was kind of part investigative journalism, part kind of late night show style, look into John C. Eastman, who was a visiting conservative scholar at CU who participated in the events at our Capitol on January 6th and kind of examined how he ended up here and his role at CU, and then kind of moved towards Mark Kennedy, our university's president, and why he is a very problematic man and unfit for his job. And it was a little bit humorous, a really massive issue to tackle, and then kind of ends with the message of diversify EU and the, extreme lack of diversity on our campus.
Yeah, it was one of these projects that stood out for me because it takes courage to criticize the leaders of the university you study at, but they need to be criticized. And then, and even more needs to happen. And this project really reflects on that and tries to tackle like a very urgent topic at CU Boulder. So thank you so much for taking this on. And everybody should watch it who does not know anything about this Eastman case. All right. Maddie is next. Are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Wonderful. Okay.
Hi, my name is Maddie. I created a short surrealist abstract film that takes the viewer through the day in the life of a woman in college struggling with mental illness and ADHD. The film focuses on how prescription medication has been a part of her life since she was young. And then the day in the life of the main character starts to slowly turn into like a vivid mind-altering experience influenced by the prescription medication. I had a lot of fun creating this project because it was so personal to me. I have become so used to certain feelings influenced by prescription medicine. And so this project was able to challenge me to show my perspective with medicine that kind of creates this numb sensation through the camera lens.
What are you doing? It's not plugged in.
Yeah, and it's really the way you're able to capture and embody your own experience is really astonishing. And it is everybody should see it, because it's also so beautifully photographed, even if it's a very serious topic. It's I really admire the focus that you had and that you created within this project. It's not because of some restriction reasons, it's not directly available on the website, on the CMP website, but you can find it here on the artist website. So it's just a click, artist Vimeo, and you just go there. Please watch it. All right. I think that was it. Did I forget anyone? Who is here? All right. Thank you again all so much. And I pass over to Betsy. Betsy, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I think, yeah, you just need to unshare. Hi, everyone. I am really proud to present my students' work. I think that in the interest of time, and also because you're all seniors, I have this sort of artificial separation because I had two different sections of students. But I think we'll just go through in order. And I know that there's one person that's going to need to leave. Bo, it looks like you are still here. Is that right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Let's start with yours just to be sure that you can present it. So I just want to say that I was so blown away by the adaptability of students this semester. You know, there was so much going on and there were so many extenuating circumstances. You know, beyond everything we know, I think I had 2 or 3 students with concussions. There was all kinds of events that happened, but I am really happy with all the work that came out of it. And I just need to thank Kimberly so much. She worked so hard throughout the semester, meeting with students who work especially in new media and video projection. She did an incredible job with the website and now with streaming this. So thank you so much, Kimberly. So let me share my screen and then we'll start with Bo's project. Bo Evans. Bo, do you want to say a little bit about what you did?
Yeah, so I shot 10 separate locations in Boulder of various vantage points, and I shot it with 360 3D footage, so you could put a headset on and it basically feels like you're there. My project caters to palliative care, so for patients who may have difficulties walking or getting around and accessing these types of places. And yeah, so they're posted on YouTube, so you're able to kind of scroll around as you see right here. And it's really, really amazing to view it with a headset. That's kind of how it's designed to be viewed. So if anyone gets the chance to view it with a headset, I highly recommend it. But I learned a bunch and I worked with a bunch of technologies I've never worked with before. And I worked with Pat Clark and Jason Neer a lot, and I really appreciate all their help. So thank you so much. But I had a great time making this project.
Great, thank you. And, you know, Bo, one of the things that I was struck with was your adaptability. Your project changed several times. And then not only that, but you learned like 5 new things, because it wasn't just a new kind of camera, but it was also the software to process it and all of that. So yeah, it's really amazing in a headset. And I encourage any of you who have access to that technology to check it out. But if you don't have a VR headset, it's really fun just going through these and scrolling around. And I just want to give also a big thanks to Pat Clark, who worked so hard with Bo to really get this technology down. And in addition, Michelle Ellsworth, who very generously loaned her camera. And Bo, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes next. And the fact that it was inspired by allowing hospital patients who couldn't go to these natural places to be able to have that experience, to me is really powerful. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Great. Okay. Stephen, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Great.
So I made sort of a glass sculpture, hologram sculpture combination project where, so for background, I've been practicing flame working and glass blowing for a few years, and I really wanted to combine that practice with my practice here with media production. And so I created essentially this hologram of a butterfly that flies inside of this glass sphere. And yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And it's such a beautiful project, Stephen. And I was really taken by how you really brought together an old world technology with this new media to create a new kind of thing. And I'm really excited I hope you stay in touch, because I'm really excited about, where this will lead. And you also went through so much, Stephen created a huge version and then the glass broke and had to start from scratch. He also 3D printed, I believe, all of the components for the project. So yeah, really exciting the way you brought so much new technology to bear on your old skills and really brought them together, Stephen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ella, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Great.
All right. Hey, y'all. I'm Elizabeth. Some of you might know me by Ella. My short film, Ready or Not, is a thriller flick that is set in my childhood home. And it's about two old friends who reconnect for a night and play a fateful game of hide and go seek. One of my end goals in CMDP was to be a part of a major collaborative creative project. And I made this movie with Max Walter, my friend and coworker at Equipment Checkout. And we learned a lot about the production process, and it was a chaotic and majestic experience. But it feels really awesome to see my vision come into fruition. And it was really rewarding to learn how to use a lot of really cool video and audio equipment. So if you're down to get a little bit spooky, definitely check it out.
Great. And yeah, Ella, I just want to commend you on creating this really high production value film with a limited crew, and also knowing that you wanted to direct and finding a collaborator that you could work really well with. It seemed like you learned a ton, and your aesthetic really comes through. It's very, very creepy, so you all should watch it. And well done. Well done. Thank you. Okay. Jake, are you here?
Yes, hello. So for my capstone, I made a concept EP. It's about this AI pop star gains consciousness, and it's this sort of journey of self-discovery, and then kind of leading up into like some revolutionary robotic action. It's so it kind of has a story, and it was my first time recording, writing, producing everything pretty much for an EP. I had a collaborator who I worked with who did the vocals and helped with the writing. And it was definitely one of the most ambitious things I've ever done. I did all the AI art that's associated with it as well, the promotion, all the rollout stuff. So it was a lot of work, but it was really fun.
Great. And yeah, Jake, it was so fun to hear it come together. I wish I could play the music for you all, but you should. There's a few music projects, so please check them out. the title track, at least for this, is on Spotify now. Is the whole EP there yet, Jake?
No, that's coming soon. But the whole EP is on SoundCloud and the website, and yeah, the single's on Spotify.
Excellent. Yeah. And yeah, please check it out. For me, what was really exciting about this was not only hearing the music and hearing you figure out how to sequence it conceptually, but also, you know, the fact that you created these AI videos. And I believe it's not part of this Capstone project, but there's an augmented reality app that goes along with this, and some animation. And so, yeah, really exciting stuff. Congratulations, Jake. Okay, Ellie, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic.
So I'm Ellie, and for my project, I decided to do a mixed media website with photographs and illustrations. And I knew at first I wanted to include images from my adventures skiing, because that's all I do in the winter. But I wanted to kind of include something a bit different. And by including some illustrations, which I've never really done before. I've kind of always wanted to illustrate over my images, but I never thought I would be able to come up with anything good enough. I never really thought I was a good drawer. So instead of just creating kind of a gallery of pretty skiing photos like I often do, I wanted to find a way to tie it together in a little bit more of a spiritual way. So I included elements of the 7 chakras and illustrations of them, and kind of tied them to each of the 7 sections in my website. So yeah, each of the 7 sections correlates to a certain chakra. I just thought it would add a lot more meaning. So yeah, I really enjoyed this project, getting to try something new and learn some new skills. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful project. I'm sorry, for some reason, maybe, I don't know, the video is not playing for me now, so we can check that out. But yeah, I mean, Ellie takes beautiful, beautiful photographs, as you can see from here. And I really hope that you can check it out, because she really went beyond, you know, one of the things we talk about a lot in our department is just taking a beautiful photograph is a wonderful thing, but then how can you push it to really make it yours and stand out from all the other people taking beautiful photographs? And I think you really push this, both in terms of the mixed media with the GIFs and the illustration, and also with the sort of conceptual angle you took, Ellie. So well done, congratulations. Okay, Jing, are you here?
Yes.
Great.
So, hello everyone, I'm Jane. So I made a photography project to show some hidden beauties in the street of my hometown. So walking the street, looking at these ordinary but warm thing made me feel satisfied and relaxed. So since during the pandemic, and I had more time to pay attention to the things that I usually ignored. So yeah, basically I want people to pay attention to the ordinary beauties around them. Yeah, that's it.
Great, thank you so much. And these photographs are so beautiful. I love how you captured just these very particular moments that other people might have missed. You know, this cloth blowing in the wind, for example. I think the Jinx photographs really come alive when you spend some time really noticing in them. And I think it's contemplative in that sense. So thank you for bringing us into your world, Jane.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, is River here? I think he may not be. But I'll just show you. So River created an EP called Bedroom Tunes, where he really brings a whole bunch of different electronic music sounds together. So I encourage you to take a listen. So it's 5 o'clock now. I know that we are being joined by Dean Bergen and by our department chair, Reese Uggies. Are you all here? I can't see much because of my.
I don't think they're here yet. So
Okay, I think that we'll just keep going and then.
Yeah, just keep going, I would say so.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Okay, well then next up will be Rob Ushak. Rob, are you here?
I am, yeah.
Great.
Hi, everyone.
You want to say something?
Sure. I made an interactive narrative which kind of explores my digital influences. I think over the past year, as we've all been confined to our spaces inside, we look for sources of inspiration, whether that be our childhood. For me, it was all the digital memories I have, whether that be in video games or just websites. I definitely want to shout out, I see Kevin Sweet in here, and I think I wouldn't have made this project without taking his class last semester. It really legitimized formats like this. I'm just really happy that I was able to create what I would say would be like a sense of place with such a unique digital environment. So I had a lot of fun. You can launch this game on Windows or watch the video on Mac and walk around this art gallery and kind of just hear my narration. It was super fun to make.
Yeah, and Rob, you did such a good job of I believe learning new software to make this. And then honestly, in my memory, it's a real place. I think you did a fantastic job of making this virtual space come alive. And a lot of it is these small details that we may not even notice, but the way the lighting is, the shadows. We talked a lot about ceilings actually in our discussions. And that attention to detail really comes through. So I encourage you all to try out this game, which it's not really a game. It's a virtual environment that you can explore. That's really got so many memories. So thank you, Rob. Let's see, Sarah.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you here? And
Yeah.
I just want to quickly congratulate Sarah because she is our Department of Critical Media Practices outstanding student. And thank you for all your hard work in your last 4 years and the semester.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so for this project, I've actually been working with Tara Knight a lot for the past 2 semesters to make this little indie video game. So it's a 2D pixel art video game, and right now it is more in its earlier stages. So I worked a lot in the like UI design, overall basic animation, and just starting to get this going because I would like this to be fully published someday. But for now, this is just kind of a little snippet of what this game will be, and it has game mechanics of like farming and like taking care of your own land, and soon we'll have other aspects in it as well.
I'm just trying to show a little bit more of it.
Yeah, so it was made in Unity, like programmed in Unity and then drawn in Sprite, and any of the UI design I did in Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, and one of the things that really stands out to me about this project, Sarah, beyond the scope of it, is this idea that you're using a role-playing game, but then exploring issues around nature and the environment and agrarian lifestyles, all within this sort of old-fashioned Scandinavian natural fantasy world. So I'm really excited to see it come together. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Charlie, are you here?
Oh, sorry, it's Kimberly. We have Laurie Bergen here already waiting.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Thank you for interrupting me. Let me stop sharing. And then we'll move on to the other projects after we hear from Dean Bergen. Yeah, Laurie, are you here?
I am, and I'm having problems. So I just have to apologize. Can you hear me?
Yes.
But you probably can only see my dog.
Your dog is very cute.
So here's what's happening on my computer. I'm going to try this. I cannot hear anything from you guys. So I'm speaking through my phone, if that makes sense. So I have you hooked up in 2 different ways. So it was hard to tell if you could see me or hear me. So if you can both, then I'm going to go ahead and share some thoughts with you. So I apologize. When technology fails, I was afraid to hit the complete restart button on my computer because it would take 10 minutes and I would never be able to get back with you. So am I good?
You're good. You are good.
Well, thank you guys so much for inviting me to be here today. I just wanted to say that, it's always a delight to be able to see student work. And, this is an opportunity to really honor the students in CMCI's Department of Critical Media Practices and just all the spectacular work that you've done this year, which is obviously the reason that you've gathered today to showcase the Capstone work. And I just wanted to say that on behalf of the college, we have amazing students and amazing faculty, and you've brought us all together today as an opportunity to see what you've accomplished and to share this, I hope, with other friends and family and guests who are here to reflect on your successes this year. One of the things I wanted to say is that the Department of Critical Media Practices provides all of our students with such a unique learning opportunity through both innovative curriculum, and it's designed and delivered by a group of really amazing faculty. And it's those faculty members who really guide you to both, to both master technical skills and also, in some ways, more importantly, to empower you to tell stories and create experiences that really help us to reflect, to understand, to improve the world where we live. So sometimes those are messages that are playful and sometimes they're entertaining. They're frequently immersive. Oftentimes they're engaging and lyrical and challenging and poignant, and they're always done with a purpose and an intent. So today the showcase includes all this work from our media production concentrations that include documentaries and immersive work, performance and sound projects. So what we see today is really the culmination of lots of hard work and lots of time on task, but it also gives us a chance to look back on how far all of our students have come and to, I guess, reflect on the wide range of courses and experiences that you've had to experience in the program, and to remember those experiences of connecting with each other, with your fellow students, with faculty members, and to really think about how that enhances the experience and the learning that you've had. So thank you so much for inviting me to share this event with you today. I apologize both for technical troubles, and it sounds like I'm about to lose my voice. And this is also terrible. I have to go to another meeting that's from 5 to 5:30, but I will be back before you conclude your presentations. So congratulations to everybody, to all the students for a job well done, and special thanks to the faculty for all the work that you do to guide them. And so let's get back to seeing what you've been up to. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the support. Reese, are you here?
Yeah, I am. I was slightly late getting to the party. Couldn't find the passcode. I eventually found it. It's right before me. So it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay,
You want
well.
to say a few words as department
Sure.
chair?
Or interim chair, but thank you so much for inviting me to this event. Just a few words. First of all, congratulations on the successful completion of your capstone projects. That in fact constitutes a major milestone in your academic careers. But it is also a moment to celebrate your individual as well as collective achievements. I am immensely impressed by the variety and diversity of media projects that were produced this year under strenuous circumstances because of the pandemic. Nonetheless, you all rose to the top and created some incredible work. I am also impressed with the way in which you have, in different ways, affirmed your individual voices. And one of the most important things about being a media artist is that the voice is important. And I would encourage you to hold on to that because as you move through your careers, you will encounter a number of people who will try to push you in this direction or that direction, but at the end of the day, what really matters is your voice. and the moral integrity that comes with the voice. And out of that, obviously, comes a vision of what it is you want to do with what you have learned. This is not the end, it's just the beginning of a very long process. No doubt you will encounter issues, problems, setbacks along the way, but those are to be expected. And when those moments arrive, you should encounter them with all the internal strength that you have and continue pushing through. So what is success? I think the best definition that I can think of right now for success is the one that was proposed by Winston Churchill. At some point in his career, late in his career, he was asked, like, how do you define success? And he said that I define success like this: from going from failure to failure to failure. That's how he defines success. And I think that's a very interesting motto, because it's really easy to give up after having been rejected here or rejected there. You kind of get funding for your project, so you kind of get an exhibition space, and it's easy to give up. And you might perceive that as failure, but it's not. It's just part of the process. And that is the moment in which you really have to think very closely and very to what Winston Churchill said, that success for him is moving from failure to failure to failure. And those words were spoken by a man who had immense success through his life, including winning a war, right? So having said that, once again, my deepest congratulations to all of you for doing such a great job. Please keep in touch with faculty and friends. And also remember that media practice is not one of sole authorship. That collaborative practice is very important. And as you move through your careers, you should seek people with whom you can collaborate and create good work, and work that has some kind of meaning, not only to you, but to your community. And I would just like to say thank you to all the parents for entrusting us with your loved ones. And we look forward to seeing the kinds of media arts that they will produce as they move forward through their careers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reese.
Thanks. I forgot my bowler hat. I should have my bowler hat. I could have done that.
Right.
I don't have it. I'm sorry.
Throw up the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that you have such wise words. And if there's any silver lining to this very difficult year, I think it really is that you all learned how to push through. I don't think there was a single project that just went off without any issues. And I also don't think that there were any projects that were unaffected by COVID or other events. And so, rely on that reservoir of strength. Okay, well, wonderful. Thank you, Reese.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really do. And just one more thing before I go. It's one of my favorite little notes is that, I don't know if you believe in genius. Some people do, some people don't. But this much I know. People often think that John Coltrane, the jazz composer, was a genius. And maybe he was, right? We don't know. But this much I know, that John Coltrane practiced the saxophone 18 hours a day, every day. Okay. So in other words, media arts is a practice, and you get better at it by doing it. And the more you do it, is the better you're going to get at it, right? And maybe one day somebody will say, that so-and-so is a genius. But of course, deep down in your heart, maybe you had some genius, but of course, if it's not nurtured, it's not going to flower, it's not going to bloom. So you got to keep working at it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese. Such wise words.
Was a genius.
What?
What's that?
John Coltrane was a genius.
He was a genius. I would agree, but okay.
He worked at it.
He also worked very hard at it. His genius would not have been revealed without his practice. Okay, Charlie, are you here? Charlie Taylor? I think she's not here, but I'll just show you quickly, this was a project that really did get derailed by COVID, but this is an adaptation of Edgar Lee Masters' narrative poetry collection, Spoon River Anthology, into an immersive website. So I hope you will all get the chance to explore. She created these graphics for it. There's a lot of music, and there are also quite a lot of photographs of characters from the poem. So I encourage you all to check that out. Natalie, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great.
So for my project, my ancestors lived in the ghost town St. Elmo. It's like right by Buena Vista. So I went there and I took photos there, and then I interviewed my dad about like what our family was doing there and stories he had and everything. So my project is photography and audio.
And you know, there are so many layers to this, Natalie. It was so interesting to see these buildings and to imagine the stories that your dad tells and the stories you were able to coax out of him in your interviews. It's quite an immersive experience. And I was so happy to see the way you treated the photographs physically. I think it really brings a lot. So I encourage you all to have this experience by going to the project website, which is right here. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
AJ, are you here?
Yep, totally. Yeah, so
Great.
My project, so I make music under the pseudonym Melvin, kind of funny. And I make like kind of experimental pop music and experimental electronic music. And this was my way of really refining what I've sort of cultivated here at CU, just in terms of making something that I felt was totally me and really kind of risky and a super honest and weird reflection of not only a kind of tumultuous period of my life, but also, you know, who I am as a person and what music I want to make, and just kind of settling down on a sound I liked for myself. So, and then, you know, some supplemental visual art because I have synesthesia, but only do it in black and white. It's kind of complicated, but yeah, I just wanted to, you know, refine my music making process, my sound, and also, you know, get an attention grabber and hopefully have people listen. So thank you.
Yeah, and AJ, you worked so hard and there were so many different parts of this process. I thought your mixing and mastering was superlative. You can actually, the SoundCloud is here, but I believe the album, the whole EP came out on Spotify and other streaming sources on May 1st. So you heard it first, you heard it here first. Feel better soon. And I want to say, and actually this was true of all the music, just the willingness to really go for it and bring lots of different kinds of music together while still having something that was cohesive was really superlative and just an astonishing piece of music. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Betsy. And yeah, it's on all streaming platforms as well. Going to make that quick plug. So thank you so much.
Melvin. Okay. Let's see. We've already talked about Eli. Are you here?
Yep, I am.
Great.
Yeah, so my capstone project was a 12-minute sports mockumentary about the life and career of ping pong star Beans Morocco. It was kind of my first time working on a project this big and doing all aspects of it, like writing the script and directing actors. So I definitely faced some challenges, but I had a lot of fun with it and learned a lot along the way. So check it out if you can.
Yeah, and it's really funny, Eli. I encourage you all to check it out. But also, I know you learned a ton working on this. You really took over all the different aspects of production, and you worked with a lot of actors, which is hard to do at the best of times. And you came up with something really funny. So I encourage you all to check it out. It's really a fun movie. Something we all could use this year for sure. Quentin, are you here? I don't
Quentin
think
couldn't make it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But Quentin created an EP about self-creation and self-destruction that's really, really powerful. It's really a conceptual experience to go through the entire thing. So it's very strong music, and I encourage you all to listen to it. Christina, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Cleveland. For my senior capstone, I made a short documentary. I was kind of in a rut, not knowing what to do for my senior project because my original ideas were derailed from COVID. And so I reached out to some of my connections, and there was a business in Colorado Springs that wanted to work with me. And so I made a short documentary on the Carter Payne. It's a bar and brewery and food hall in an old church in Colorado Springs. And I go through the history of the building, built in the 1800s. And I just really had a good time with this project. I learned a lot. There are so many things that, like, both technical and mental things that I learned about myself throughout this entire process. And I just really enjoyed it. And I loved learning the history of the building and where he sees his business going in the future.
Yeah, and the thing that was so interesting to me about this project, Christina, was it really ended up not being about this brewery or restaurant, but it really was about community and the exciting ways in which this entrepreneur and his collaborators and conspirators are really creating a community hub. You wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say exactly that. He, the owner, Jeff Zierfoss, intends to keep the community aspect from the church alive throughout his entire business. My title is Culinary Congregation because he really focuses on bringing the community together. And also I need to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Joshua Unger. He helped me immensely throughout this entire process. From editing to being there when I shot. And so I wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
Great. Well, it really came together. Pete, are you here? I'm not sure that Pete could make it, but Pete made a really beautiful film. I encourage you all to watch it. He lost his mother just before the semester began. And he made this beautiful reflexive film about grief that includes a lot of family photos, a lot of footage of his family during the time after this happened. And so a very powerful film that I hope you all get to see. Okay, and then moving on to a very different kind of project. Claire, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. So I did an animated short film, kind of an experimental style of animation based on some of the work I've been doing in Atlas through motion graphics courses. So I wanted to use my illustration skills and motion graphics background to create a sort of experimental animation piece about digital identity based on sort of the experience of living fully online for the past year and how that affects your sense of self when your work, your entertainment, and your personal life are all taking place in the same digital space. So, yeah.
Great, yeah, and this was such a big project. I mean, just to do all the animation, and it's been so fun watching it come together, having never worked on an animation project before. Yeah, it's really exciting. So congratulations. You should all definitely check it out. Really interesting use of sound too, which I appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
Luke, are you here?
I am. Hello, everybody. I'm Luke Nickel. My project was Solus. I've always really loved post-apocalyptic movies and films. And then with everything going on with COVID, I just thought that I'd try and make a commentary on self-isolation. And yeah, I shot everything around Boulder with my roommates, and I'm really happy with how it came together, considering it was a kind of crazy process from beginning to end. But yeah, definitely check it out if you have the time. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, and this is just a beautiful film, beautifully shot film, Luke. And I know you went through a really hard time. Just the weather didn't cooperate, and there were some injuries along the way. But really professional, and the cinematography is beautiful. It's really a story for our time about solitude and sort of psychological demons. And so I encourage you all to watch it.
Thank you.
Okay, Athena, are you here? I thought I saw her before. I'll just say a little bit about Athena's project because it was such an interesting thing to try and to create. She used software to create a website that you can actually interact with. And in the course of this, and we can go to the website, you have to be 18, so only if you're over 18. It looks like a real website, and you can keep going and you can add your own comments. But as you read these snippets of postings and the comments, a story, a very dark story starts to emerge. So I encourage you all to check it out. And I'm sorry she couldn't be here. She was here earlier. All right, let's see. Riley, are you here?
Yes, hi, I am. Yeah, okay, so for my project, I did a portrait photography project where I took portraits of my friends. So these are like my 4 closest friends. And each of them,
Sorry.
No, you're good. Each of them kind of got their own like color palette and aesthetic designed. And then in post-production, I just really kind of amplified some of the aesthetic choices. So yeah, it was really fun. It was nice to get to work with my friends, and I'm really happy with the way that it ended up turning out.
Yeah, and it was so interesting the way you worked with color and the way you worked with lighting, Riley. I know you had to try a lot of different things to really get the color come out the way that you did, and to me it's so effective, and really gives me a sense of their personalities. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that many of these photography projects have their own websites, and I encourage you to go there to see the work in the way it was intended. Anthony, are you here? I think so.
Yes, I'm here.
Great. You want to say a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm Anthony. My senior capstone project, I began kind of establishing my production business, and we curated 2 sets of visuals, 2 music videos for local musicians. One being kind of a narrative short film planned, plot, script, storyboard, everything. And then one kind of being the more traditional, like pick up and shoot and just, walk down the street and create a music video. Really stepped out of my boundaries and, really worked with color correction and effects and things I haven't done before. And I feel like they came out pretty successful. So.
Great. Yeah. And, I just want to give props for you for creating 2 capstone projects, which included, shoots out of the city and very professional shoots, but also for really going outside your comfort zone. I think your work with graphics here is really exciting. And I'm looking forward to hearing about the next music videos. And I also want to just shout out that you're being a little modest because you also worked on the music for at least one of these videos. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Tanner, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. You want to say something about your project?
Yeah, so my project is a 7-minute music video involving videography, projection mapping, dance, and post-production effects. It pretty much kind of takes you into the world the weird psychedelic world of nap dreams. And I feel like everybody knows what I'm talking about whenever you think of nap dreams. They're usually pretty crazy. So yeah, check it out. I had a lot of fun. Shout out to Georgia Rich. I couldn't have done this without her.
Great. Yeah. And, to me, this was really interesting and exciting, the way that you took projection mapping and then brought it inside this music video. But you can see there, everyone, that he actually created this sculpture that he's projecting video onto, and then he shot that so that you could see it. And again, this is the kind of thing that would be probably a live performance, a live projection had we had the capability to do that. So well done. Congratulations, Tanner.
Thank you.
Nancy, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent.
So I make a dance music video about the theme, the rhythm, and I play the roles from director to the choreographer, dancer, and also the composer to make this project. And yeah, I think this project challenged me a lot and helped me to find a new way to create the medium work. Yeah, I hope you guys can enjoy and learn my project.
Yeah, and this is just a beautiful project. You put on so many hats for this project, Nancy. Composing the music and choreographing it, and then your cinematographer was excellent. And it's such an important topic that has really come through this year. And I think that you really made a powerful project. So I hope everyone can check this out. Congratulations. Let's see. Xinyi, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Great. Do you want to say something about your project?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, I'm Xinyi. So my project is a multimedia website. I call it Connect the Memories. I try to use the photos and the audio to show several parts of my daily life, and the photos and the environmental sound parts are taken from my own life. Also, in order to resonate with the audience for my project and let them understand the emotion I want to express better, I also choose some copyright-free music to help me express my feeling. So when the audience come to go check with my website, they can go through my photo collections where they listen to my recorded audios and also the music. I just hope this website can give the audience a kind of the immersive experience. And yeah, if you have time, just go check it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I also just want to note your study of haiku and the way that you tried to have the sounds and the photographs also have this kind of minimal aspect based on Japanese aesthetics. And I think that really comes through. So it's a beautiful website, and I hope you all can check it out. Let's see. Okay. Almost finished with my students. Will, are you here?
I am here.
Great. You want to say something about your project?
So I've been doing holograms for about a little over 2 years now, and I wanted to make something that was more approachable as a product instead of just some kind of an art gallery piece. So I decided to go with a holographic house plant, but I had a little bit of extra plexiglass left over, so I made a smaller version for the mobile phone. And the idea behind that now is to use the phone as a projection with the glass to make the holograms so that you don't look at your phone and use it while you're trying to be productive on something else.
Yeah, and I think it's such a great idea, right? Because if you create this holograph, in order to create a holographic plant on your desk, you have to put your phone away for those who might not have gotten it. And so, of course, by doing that, you might set a timer for 30 minutes or whatnot. And that's 30 minutes where you're not staring at your phone in case there are alerts that come up. So I think it's really clever, and I hope you're able to continue this as a product. Well, congratulations. Lauren, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful.
So although my project it changed ideas because of COVID, what I ended up producing was a photo book of pet portraits of dogs here in Colorado. So I kind of just wanted to emphasize the connection that we as Coloradans have with our pets, specifically dogs. And then also, I wasn't able to produce a wildlife photography based project like I wanted to originally. So I kind of thought this would be a good form of distraction in terms of media. So it's not just another bombardment of negative things in the media. It's dog faces. That's it.
Great. And yeah, I mean, I think that the idea of really thinking about portraiture with these dogs, and portraiture saying something about their personalities as opposed to just making them look good or making them look cute. There's so much personality in these photographs, Lauren. And I was so happy to see it come out as an actual book too. That's really exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you're able to continue it. Congratulations.
That's the goal.
Carter, are you here?
I am, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so for
You
my
wanna say
capstone
something?
project, I created Virtus. It was an interactive web of short stories that span countries, decades, themes, and structures, all of which abided by, or in most cases, broke the four cardinal virtues of Catholicism, which are justice, fortitude, temperance, and prudence. I consider writing to be my strongest skill within the media realm, but I've always been fascinated by sound design, video design, all of those things. So I wanted to find ways to incorporate those into this project, and the perfect application for it was Twine, which is a reader interactive application that really puts the ball into the reader's court. I mean, I had to teach myself how to code. I designed and produced the sound for it, used influences as means for stories. And yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Great. And I don't know why, but for some reason the video is not playing for me, maybe just all the bandwidth. But I really encourage you all to download it and try it out. It is really an interesting project. And Carter, I appreciate all the hard work you put into learning this new software and all these new skills. But also, I think you're in your career as a writer, I think you're having some really interesting ideas about how media can come into, the reading experience on the internet, beyond just having a photograph on the side or a video that you can play, but just really incorporating it into the reading experience, and the way that you designed that. So congratulations. Let's see, Brendan, are you here? Okay, well, Brendan created also an EP that brings a lot of different styles of music together. So it's an experimental piece, and I encourage you all to listen to it. And I think that does it for me for my class. Is there anyone here who did not get to present?
I have one project that was not presented. Chiara,
Okay.
would you like to share your project?
Yes. Do you want me to
I'm
do
here
it,
now.
or Louisa, or do you want to share your screen?
I can share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay. So, Chiara, would you like to say a couple of words about it?
Yeah. So I made an abstract music video based on a song that I made a while ago. And yeah, it's called Space because I wanted it to kind of feel dreamlike and like you're like spacing out. And yeah, I wanted to make it super colorful, fun, abstract. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you worked hard on this. You didn't know many of these
Yeah.
techniques, right? And you
Yeah,
used that.
it was
to reflect.
definitely very new for me. I worked a little bit last semester on one animation project, but that was it. And so I really wanted to like expand my knowledge and just get better. And so it was really fun. I really liked it, and I like how it came out. So
cool. Thank you. Thank you for presenting. And is there anyone in here who hasn't presented their project? Okay. I think we can move on and maybe see if people in the audience or even faculty and the other students, if you've seen some projects and you have questions, feel free to address them. You can raise your hand or you can ask them in the chat, whatever you prefer. So if you'd like to ask questions, now it's the moment. So
yeah, and maybe go ahead and do it in the chat because it's hard to see everybody's hands since there's two screens where while you're thinking of questions, I've got sort of an overall question for any of you actually, which is, are there particular works or practices that you encountered in the last 4 years that have sort of shaped the way you've moved forward? Any particular influences? And you can go ahead and just start talking if you want to answer the question.
For me, my project was the comics project, and I had never explored that medium until I took a class. It was called, I think it was called like American Comics and Graphic Novels, and it was with Professor William Cuskin, and he's in the English department, and just totally changed my perspective about graphic novels as an art form, and really like I've always appreciated them, but really empowered me to like start making my own comics and cartoons. So that's been really new for me this last year, but definitely something I want to continue.
Great. Anyone else?
So early on when I transferred into the department, I obviously had to take some classes with Andrew Young. And that's where I got introduced, I guess, to the idea of more digital and interactive works being valid in the space of media practices where they were kind of passed over elsewhere. And so that kind of pushed me to where I am now, just taking those seriously as things I can make and present for classes and professional work.
That's great. Anyone else want to chime in? How about any other questions from anyone here? Questions for the media makers?
I have a general question for everyone, or for whoever would like to respond. I'm wondering what's up next for you after you graduate. What are you looking forward to do, and what your projects are at this point, as you know them. So whoever would like to contribute.
I am actually moving to Detroit, Michigan, and I'll be working at a chocolate company called Bon Bon Bon, and I'll be creating like all the content. I'm doing like graphic design and photography, and video. So I'm basically getting the opportunity to combine everything I learned in media production all into one. So I'm super excited about that. And it's a chocolate factory, so.
This is amazing, Julia. And I knew about this, but yeah, congratulations on it. Great work. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm actually going to Pratt in the fall. And right now I'm working as an assistant producer for a company called Old Tail Productions that just released their first season of their docuseries called Connected, A Search for Unity. and it's just starting to air across the country, and they're working on their second season, which is what I'm helping with now and what I'll help with once I am in Brooklyn at Pratt.
Congratulations, Izzy. That's amazing.
Awesome. We have another question here, which is from Hannah Merton, which is, I'd love to hear from the students if there were projects from their peers that they want to shout out. What did you love and why? What makes you proud of each other? And that's such a fantastic question. Thank you.
I can go real fast. I know he's not here right now, but I just wanted to say I really loved Pete's project and I encourage you all to go watch it. It was extremely just like touching watching him develop it throughout the semester, and it's a really beautiful final project. So everyone should definitely go check that one out.
Just to piggyback off that, that's the exact same thing that I was going to say. I think that it takes a lot of courage to show your raw emotions like Pete did, and I really encourage everyone to go and watch it, and he just has a beautiful story to tell.
Yeah, going off of that too, Luke Nichols' project, he has an eye for cinematography and it shows, so the sky is the limit for him, and I was really impressed with his piece.
I want to just quickly interject. We want to definitely hear from more students, but I just want to thank my students that were in Pete's section for your extraordinary sensitivity in having critical feedback while still really respecting just how difficult and raw his situation was. And I agree, it's really powerful, and I encourage everyone to see it. But thank you all for working with him so beautifully and with each other.
Christina?
Oh, sorry, I already talked. My hand is still up though, sorry.
I guess I'll go to one more thing I was going to say is I was super exciting seeing all of the game design and game development projects in the Capstone class from people I've had some VR lab classes with in the past and immersive media classes with. Shout out to Pat. I don't know if Pat's still in here, but I had a great time with working with some of those people in Pat's classes in past semesters. So super exciting to see people's game projects like really come to life and come into like a final finished product. So I know a lot of us kind of experienced like the start of the pandemic, not being able to get a lot of products finished up and not being able to finish our work. And it was really awesome to get to play around with people's finished games. So I think everyone should check those out too. I'm super impressed by all of them.
Okay, anyone else? Yes.
I mean, I was really impressed seeing work from people who I've worked with in classes before, Gray, Claire, Rob, in particular, just who I've worked with on projects before, and seeing the really amazing stuff they've done themselves this semester.
Thank you. Lori?
Got to find the mute button there. I just wanted to ask a general question because it's something I'm so curious to see all of the great work that you all have done. You do this work in classes. What is the role of your fellow students? How is your connection with your fellow students have an influence? How does it have an influence on the work that you do, and how do you influence the work of other students? If any of you would be willing to sort of respond to that, I'd really appreciate hearing about it.
I think personally, oh, sorry.
No, I was calling on you.
Oh, thank you. I think personally, it reminds me how talented everyone is, seeing everybody else's projects. And it's almost like an iron sharpens iron kind of situation, because it's like, I love seeing everybody's projects, but it drives me to keep, improving myself as well. And it's kind of this collaborative thing where we're all getting better together, because we get to, we get inspired by each other. But it's also inspiring because I want to push myself and keep pushing the boundaries of, what I've been able to do with art and film and all of that kind of thing.
I have very similar feelings about this. I really use people's projects to like give myself inspiration, and especially when we have the checkpoints like throughout the semester, the rough draft, and like even just the final part before we actually move it out. All of that, just seeing everyone doing such cool things, giving me inspiration to like make my thing better than it would have been otherwise.
I think for me, this semester was less of other people's work influencing my work, but just being part of the process with everyone was such a fun experience. Of like, I felt like it really affected our just like relationships, like getting, and with Zoom, it's so hard to like get to know people who you haven't had class with before. But I felt like being part of people's processes really, I felt like opened them up. I don't know, it's like opened the door for a relationship, because you can just be like, oh, that's so interesting, here's some feedback. And was definitely a welcome kind of moment in this online semester.
To add on, I feel like I agree with what everyone said. In addition to, I like to work off of what everyone else has done, in a sense where it's like there's this person who is kind of following me through the process of media practices, and look at them do from like drawing to video games, and it inspires me to want to do the same and venture into these other realms of art that isn't so necessarily like a specific class for. So like watching like the video games, it's like if Gray or Tate or Sarah, sorry, can do it, then I could do it too. And just graduating with that thought kind of makes me want to be a better person. So
that I really appreciate all those answers. And I'm looking at Riley's response also in the chat, where she says, such a unique process being able to see each step of everyone's project. I really valued learning how to give constructive feedback, and it was so nice being able to make friendships even over Zoom. That's kind of reassuring. This was so hard to do virtually for such a long time. And I'm just amazed at how you guys succeeded with so much. So thanks for letting me ask the question. That really gave me some insights I didn't have before. So great to hear. Just underscores how important community is, doesn't it?
It does. It's such a good question that you asked, actually, Lori. And I want to add on to that a lot of you have heard or will hear a lot about things like networking, but really what it comes down to is community and collaboration. It's something that Reese touched on when he spoke. The people that you see around you now, the friendships that you've made here, these are people that you may be working with professionally in the future. You may not hear from them for 10 years, and then you may find yourselves working, on similar projects or even collaborating. And I hope you can really think about that, networking not as this sort of instrumental, corporate tool, but really it's about friendships, and it's about caring about one another and creating kind of a nurturing web of people that you care about and people that care about you. And, one of the things I really hope for you all is that along with your creativity, you just carry that from our program and elsewhere with you as you go through your lives, both personally and professionally.
Yes, and I also want to add that this website, this Capstone Showcase, is another opportunity for you to get to know the work of your peers and to get to think about new collaborations in the future. Don't leave and not say hello anymore. Just stay connected and work together even from now on. So keep in touch and with us and with your peers as well.
Agreed. And I encourage you, I mean, as this major has grown, I taught this class in 2018, and I think there were 11 people in the class graduating that year. As it's grown, there are more of you that don't know one another. So I really encourage you to go through that work, you know, maybe in a few days after everything has died down and you're done. But really reach out to people, send an email to the people whose work you like, even if they're not people that you've already run into. You have a lot in common, and you're all so talented. And yeah, this is just the beginning. There's so much ahead of you, and please stay in touch with us. We really want to hear what you're up to and give feedback on your projects if you're after that. We're a community.
And I would like to invite Pat to say a few words, Pat Clark, if you'd like to
Sure,
wrap
yeah.
up.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. And I mean, I'm not going to say anything right away that has not been said before, but the one thing that I do come away with after looking and hearing from all of you, watching your artists talk, looking at your work, and for many of you getting to work with you, you know, at some point over your career here, is just how courageous you are in the kind of work that you've made. And frankly, in sticking with a media production major. There are a lot of students that are going to be graduating this week with degrees that are going to be envious of your courage to stick with the thing that you're really passionate and interested in. And that's going to serve you really well in your career, knowing that there's things inside of you that you want to say and share with the world, and being able to express that, and knowing that there's going to be challenges involved. You know, I look around on the Zoom room here, and what I see is a lot of problem solvers. I see people that don't give up. I see people that work hard, and that's an incredibly difficult thing to teach. You know, you've learned a lot of hard skills over the last 4 years here, buttons to push, software to use, tools like that. That's important. But just the fact that you're a hard worker and that you don't give up is something that there's no class on that. And you guys have all shown that that's something that's inside of you, and that's going to be, it's going to serve you really well. And it's just been amazing getting to see your work. It's such a great way to end the year, a really difficult year for you guys, especially. I just hope you take a chance to give yourself a lot of credit and look back at how far you've come, because it really is incredible. So that's the last thing I'm going to say is if you'd like to join us in watching the CMCI graduation tomorrow, I'm going to put the RSVP form in the chat. Please RSVP. We just need to know you're coming, and we'd love to see all of you there. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Pat. Maybe it would be nice to have a round of applause from everyone and to congratulate the class of 2021. And maybe we can unmute and kind of go wild with that.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Wonderfully. I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations, and hope to see you tomorrow.
Forever Buffs. Here you go.